Well, I'm here with Sean Whalen, star of Traumatika and about every other movie I've seen. Oh, I got to talk to you about that because I don't get to talk to actors like you who just have just such a wide variety of parts and characters they play. What's kind of the more challenging roles that you get, or the more fun roles that you get? Because you've played
I
so
mean,
many different things in the past.
I love comedy. I love comedy. That's my favorite. I studied at the Groundlings. I would have loved to have been on Saturday Night Live. I just adore comedy so much. So that's definitely the funnest. Um, the difficult ones are when just like anything, like uh, when you have to transform yourself into something kind of completely different than who you are. Um, I did that in a movie called, Beneath Us All, and I was an abusive foster father, and I really had a specific thing on how I wanted to change myself, and those take a lot of nuance because your Sean Whalen can't break through that characterization, so you really have to get deeper into the character. I would assume, like, when I forget the actor, of course, who played Lincoln. You know what I mean? He gets so deep into it, um, that those are the hardest ones when you're completely transformational. Um, yeah, that's the comedy is the easier and funner one for me, and then the ones where you're like, when I did that movie, my wife said I didn't see any of my husband in that role.
I, that's got to be pretty high praise.
Yeah,
Someone
yeah,
knows you that intimately, and it's like I
yes,
don't know who this person is.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
What
So,
what
yeah,
what is it that can bring you to that place? That because I mean, that's not a talent or tool that you can pull off like doing your
I
first movie or the first time you
you
act. That's got
you
to be
need
tools you pick up along the way.
you need a good coach. I had luckily had a really good friend of mine. His name Ari Rogers, that was on Oz, and he know me so well that he knew all my bag of tricks, and he goes, that I see you doing this, and he's a great friend. I have an acting coach that you 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 need another pair of eyes, because whatever you think you're doing, you don't know what it is, how it's being received. So the hardest thing is keeping it real, and then also keeping it so it's entertaining and something that we still want to watch, someone who we still want to watch. So it's great to have a second pair of eyes. And Rebekah Kennedy and I have formed two different production companies with our spouses. I met her on my movie Crust. Again, that was one that she's never had a romantic lead. I'd never had a romantic lead. So that was really fun for us to do. That's how we became partners with each other's spouses. We have a production company, me and my wife, and she has one with her husband. And we just started hammering around thinking, we do a lot of our good work, and then sometimes the film itself doesn't work as hard as we do. And so the acting is not as good, or the editing, they don't put the care into it. So we just said, you know what? Let us do what we do, and then we'll be in charge. So at least if anything goes wrong with the movie, it's on us. So that's how I started getting to directing and producing. And we've got our first feature that's just being finished editing, called Swipe, about a young woman, Rebecca, who tries to save her brother from a farm of crazy women who torture men that they catfish online.
So why take that undue stress? Because if you're just walking in, the movie sucks. It's like that wasn't me. That you can go
Yeah,
to
right.
the.
No, yeah, not me. That's funny. That's funny.
No, but that's gonna be pretty fulfilling going in there and just like as scary as it is that like this is us. So if this didn't work, it falls
Yes.
on no one else.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's got to be exciting and fulfilling creatively.
Yes. Yes. It is. It is. I mean, it's so hard. I mean, I luckily saw the Jaws 50th anniversary, and um, I realized, Steven Spielberg does not talk about it as the funnest shit in the world. He said it was really difficult, but that's what was so lovely about me and Rebecca's partnership, is because we introduced each other to people. She had already done Two Witches, so and I love that. And when Pierre and Max said, "Hey, you want to come down and do Traumatica?" I said, absolutely. They shoot very run and gun, guerrilla style. And sometimes those movies just don't look that good. But I already saw Two Witches, and they do such a great job that I went down there, did it for a couple hours, and literally, Eric, I forgot I was in it. I mean, Rebekah would go, "Hey, we're doing some stuff," and I go, "Oh, good for you. That movie's great." And she goes, "No, Sean, you're in it." And I go, "Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's even better.
That's even better, you know." But look, hey, I didn't get cut out, so.
I gotta say, not to review the movie during the interview,
Yeah,
but one of my favorite things about this movie is it's got the cold open, right? So the
yeah,
cold open usually
yeah,
gets you going, and then it
yes.
says like then it's cuts to 2003. I'm like, okay, here's where we get to the part where the characters we're gonna follow for the rest turn off their alarm clock, wake up, brush their teeth, and then we got 20 minutes to not here.
Nope,
No.
no, you were
It basically
thrown
goes
in.
it goes from the cold open to almost
Bam.
the end of the movie. It's what it
Yeah,
felt.
you're in it. You are in it. And
When was the
Rebekah is the cutest, sweetest person, but man, she look, I saw a rough cut of it, and not to be rude to anybody who's involved with the film, but I'm a little scared to see it on the big screen at the premiere tonight.
but did the movie like did the story move at a clip like that when you read the script or
I
because
didn't
it,
read
it
it.
does it does feel kind of like it jumped around and it's hard to
I didn't read the script because they hadn't figured out what they were going to do with that section yet. So they film in little pieces, you know. So I
okay.
didn't get a big script and then a schedule like I normally get. They just said I knew that generally what it was about, and then and then they said, "Look, this is the character." They sent it to me. I worked on it. I went in. They knew me from my own movie Crust, which I wrote, produced, directed, and starred, and they'd seen it. They appreciated it. They knew I could do it. And like I said, I just shot it. So I didn't know what the movie was about until I saw the rough cut. I mean, of course, Rebekah told me generally what it was about, obviously, and I could tell from my scene, which I knew it was about. But I mean, I didn't know how messed up it was until I saw this rough cut. And I was like, "Oh my gosh," it's nuts. And that was rough. So I can't imagine what it looks like now. But these guys are just they're so smart. They're so good at getting what they needed in the production side, but then they spend a lot of their time in post, which so many independent filmmakers don't do. They're it's all about, oh, let's hang out with these great actors and shoot a fun, and then they don't do anything on post, and that's where everything dies.
Yeah. And well, so what's that like for you as an actor then? It's like, you have the whole script, you know what the story is, you know what the
Yeah,
context of your character and the other characters are, but like
yeah.
you had so little going in. That's got to be a
Look,
challenge right
look,
there.
the best thing to do is keep it simple. You have to know what you're doing. All I am doing is warning my business partner, do not mess with this. We deal with artifacts. That's fine. But this one, we shouldn't. Based on my research, we should. That's all I need to know.
Okay,
Because
so
if I played that character in real life, my character wouldn't know any of the other stuff either. All I would know is that we're not supposed to mess with this. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. So like
That's my service to the story.
you don't do like the method acting or the other extraneous nonsense of
No, it's more that I don't know what's going on in the house.
okay,
All I am is the business guy going, based on my research, don't do this.
I
And
got you.
if you overthink that, all I have to do is believe that that thing is very scary, that we should not touch it, and then just live that truth. That's it. Because anything else of the movie has nothing to do with me as the character.
Yeah,
I'm just a business partner calling my friend.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, Traumatica is in theaters September 12th. I
Yeah.
recommend everyone go see it unless you got a weak heart, then maybe sit this one
Yeah.
out. Oh,
or wait till you're at home so you
that,
can
there you
pause and
go.
have a
Have
little
your
wine
pills
or
and
something.
defibrillator nearby. Um, but yeah, I guess we'll just end with this. I actually kind of got two final ones. One, I want to get a movie recommendation from you, a movie that you think is like really good that not enough people see, and you have such like a vast filmography. I want to get a couple of movies that you've done that's like I was really good in this and not,
Uh,
it's something that like no
yeah,
one's seen that you can kind of point them to.
there's a movie called Velisca that I did that I'm very proud of that not a lot of people have seen. And then one of my favorite movies, I have a movie club that I actually do with people every month that I pick a movie and we all discuss. And one that has not been seen in a long time is A Place in the Sun with Montgomery Clift and Elizabeth Taylor and Shelley Winters. And it is such a dark movie, and it's just fantastic. My favorite movie is Casablanca. Everybody's seen that, but this A Place in the Sun with Montgomery Clift, who had a very short acting career, but he was in the same class as James Dean and Marlon Brando and those guys. So I recommend A Place in the Sun. If you like horror, it's the same thing. It's horrifying in its life, but it's not a horror film.
Nice. Well, Sean, you've been an absolute joy to talk to. Thanks for coming on, and I
Hey,
loved Traumatica, and congratulations on that as well.
hey, thank you. Appreciate you.